Yeah, man. So we're back. We're back here with some more Epstein files news, man. I just finished one that I just posted that you guys are gonna get by tomorrow. That I reacted to Penguin Zero video on it. About the edited video and like the modified video and everything, and I gave some opinions out in there of what I thought. But this is some news from MSNBC from a day ago, I believe. Let me see. I think it was from a day ago. Yeah, it was from a day ago, and I'm just super interested to see what what they're saying. So let's watch it. Let's get straight into it.
This is truly unusual breaking news. You know the breaking news animation. You know sometimes the news is big, significant, serious. This one is unusual. A major escalation in what is increasingly a kind of political, quiet, peaceful civil war, but a civil war of political proportions for MAGA over these Epstein files. And it's roiling the Trump administration at quite literally the highest level.
This is basically he's 100% right. This is basically a civil war between the different sides in this Epstein file situation. Like I believe it was I think it was what is it, the FBI number one and number two that are clashing about it back and forth, and one of them has now threatened to leave the FBI completely. I'm not sure if it's the number one or number two. I think he's gonna definitely specify that, but it's crazy. Like it's crazy that people would go into such disagreements about something that is so obvious, something that is so blatantly obvious of what you should do. Like you should obviously stop lying and just give us these files. Let us know who's in these files, because we deserve to know. You know what I mean? The people were the ones that were victimized by this situation, and the people deserve to know who's in these files and who they should trust and who they shouldn't trust. Because as of right now, we can't trust no one. Like you can't even trust your own president, because we all saw the situation from the other day when Donald Trump was trying to completely evade the question from one of the journalists at the assembly or whatever, saying, "Are we still talking about the Epstein file, about the Epstein guy, that creep?" We saw how he was obviously trying to just push that away and move on to something else. He did not want her in the conversation whatsoever, and that is extremely suspicious. So if we can't even trust the president, we just need to know who's in these lists, and these number ones and number twos should not be debating or fighting over giving us the files or not. They should just shut the fuck up and give us the files.
Sources detailing the ongoing clash over a fight that could cost someone their job. Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi clashing with the FBI number two official Dan Bongino. As everybody who follows these kind of stories knows, technically the AG oversees the FBI, but if you remember Comey or other strong-willed FBI officials, when you're at that number one, number two level, they sometimes fight with the DOJ. Sources say Bongino is so upset about all this, he's saying maybe he'll just leave, which would be a very quick tenure, by the way.
I'm not sure if it was Bongino. I might be messing up his name. I'm not sure if it was him or another guy, but I'm pretty sure it was him that was in that interview on the TV, saying that he would give us the Epstein video of his cell unmodified. Like he would give us the raw footage, and ended up giving us modified footage that I just reacted to earlier today. It's crazy. It's like, if you're gonna lie to us, like if you're gonna look me dead in the eye, like the way I'm looking you guys dead in the eye right now, and be like, I'm gonna give you the raw footage, I am expecting you to give me the raw footage. I don't want you to bullshit me and give me some bullshitted modified video that you didn't even try to hide properly. It's just like, bro, you should quit. This is not a debate. You should quit. You should leave. If you can't do your job properly, you should just leave.
Okay. And he would be leaving in a sort of protest or criticism of Bondi's
And you should leave quietly.
handling of the Epstein files. Other outside agitators, including Tucker Carlson, saying she's lost confidence. Maybe she has to go. He was not at work today, reportedly. Sources also say Bondi and Bongino got into a heated clash Wednesday in a high-level meeting with him, her, FBI Director Patel, and Donald Trump's #1 person who tracks all this stuff and makes the big staffing decisions, Susie Wiles, the chief of staff.
And I'm sorry, Donald Trump is just so not to be trusted. After his reaction to all of this, he just does not seem like a person you should be trusted right now.
Campaign.
You know, until
Axios
proven
has a report on
otherwise.
this, where Pam says her piece, Dan says his piece, didn't end on friendly terms. Bongino left angry. And you don't need to be a scholar of reporting or Watergate level intrigue to know somebody in this small meeting is leaking this stuff to Axios if it's true. A source close to Bongino saying he ain't coming back. Out of control furious is the other quote. This destroyed his career. He's threatening to quit and torch Pam unless she's fired, said someone who, again, according to that reporting, spoke with Bongino. By the way, hire podcasters and right-wing media figures to run major parts of the government, and you may find...
Come on, man, bro. Looks like your typical villain, bro. He looks suspicious. He looks suspicious. I'm sorry. Don't judge a book by its cover, but look at him.
Major parts of the government are being leaked on and run like...
Bro. Y'all ever seen that video of... Hold on, let me find this. Bro. Y'all ever seen this video right here? Hold on. Let me find this real quick. Hold on. Y'all ever seen this video? Oh my god, I got an ad. Hold on.
So,
y'all ever seen this video right here?
Loses, gets nothing. Ms. Howard, what are you thinking?
She lied, and I should have known better when I seen her hair.
Ms. Reese? I gotta feel you were somewhat worried, weren't you? $9,000.
Yo! Nah. He lied.
like another piece of podcast content. I'll come back to how some of this
that's crazy. You gotta trust the hairline, guys. If you cannot trust the person, trust the hairline. If you cannot trust the person, you gotta trust the hairline, bro. You gotta trust the hairline. Come on, man. Come on.
Serious when you think about the victims in the original Epstein case. All of this, though, occurred because the DOJ has fallen short of the pledges that people around Trump, including Bondi, made. There were many questions about the Epstein case. From the moment of his in-custody death, this news program, for example...
And that, once again, there's no one that believes that he would kill himself. After all these years, after all this time, out of nowhere, when everything is kind of like moving in a sense, you know, he just the only person who knows anything really is gone. The files on the set to have never existed. The allegations for the blackmail are said to have just been lies, or there has never been any blackmail. It's too many things, man. It's too many things in one go. You know, this incredible dispute between these political parties, between these political people, in between these CEOs or whatever, and number ones and number twos. It's just too many things going on. You know, and taking into consideration the number one's big ass forehead and shitty hairline.
Has
a lot of lies
on those
on.
questions. There are some suspicious details. This news program has not done what a lot of the internet and MAGA right-wing sort of circles have done, which is assert without evidence what maybe happened and then wait for the government to confirm it. Now we're seeing significant backlash from MAGA, probably some of the loudest against Trump since he took office. Journalists, other people following Doge and Musk may be reporting one set of problems to the administration, but on the right, this is the big problem. All of this is because it was partly stoked by the very people who now say nothing to see here. They stoked this conspiracy which imploded on them.
And also, wasn't it? I might be wrong here, guys, but wasn't it? Wasn't it Ilan? Ilan that was the one that basically kind of confirmed that Trump was on the list. You know, I mean on the files. Not that we can take Ilan's word for everything, obviously, right? Not that we can take his word for everything, but yeah. I'm pretty sure he was on the list. I'm pretty sure Elon was the one that said he was on the list, and I am guessing that to know that he must have had access to those files in some way or somehow, you know.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that?
There we go again. Confirming that this list exists, man. They just confirmed that this list exists. They do it time and time again. They keep saying, like, list. And here we go. They just said that the DOJ might be releasing the list of Epstein's file, whatever. Forgive my pronunciation, because right now I'm mad as hell. But they just confirmed that this list does exist, you know? And how the... Okay, I don't... Bro, I just can't. Like, how can they look us dead in the eye and be like, this list does not exist?
Really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now.
Dude, I swear, if you guys need to see my watch my reaction to Penguin Zero's video, because I said this multiple times. She just confirms that they have these lists, they have these files, and
Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing.
And it's just like, here we go again. They confirm it. They confirm it again and again and again and again and again. And now out of nowhere they're trying to play us like fucking fools, you know, saying that these files, this list never existed, you know, and it's just like, dude, who you trying to troll here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, 90% of us are not gonna believe you, you know, like we know you are bullshitting, we know you're lying, and it's just like they're doing such a sloppy job of covering this. Like, they're doing such a sloppy job of covering this that it's disturbing. It's like, it's repulsing. That's the word. It's such a bad job. They're doing such a bad job in covering that it's like it's just annoying.
We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
What name?
And where are those names? Where are those names, and which moves have you made to take those people to prison? Like, who have you put behind bars that you know should be behind bars? No one.
Are in there, man. You understand how many powerful people probably want this thing to desperately go away?
The FBI airmailed into that operation and said, this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Release the list. That's the now vice president. The list's on my desk, the attorney general.
The vice president, guys. The vice president just said release the list. This list exists. Many people have confirmed it. And now they're just trying to play us for fools, saying that this list does not exist. It's insane. It's disgusting. It's repulsing.
Government gangsters, quote unquote, are in charge of all this stuff. The problem is they caught the car. All those people talking up that way now have the goods. They're in the government. They used to be pointing their finger. They found it pointing at themselves, like many an old internet meme, and it's blown up on them. So this matters politically because one or more people may be out of a job. It matters in a deeper sense because we're seeing the limits of governing by clickbait or political conspiracy theory. It also could matter if any of it got back to the real questions about the Epstein case. Not whether Pam Bondi was lying when she said she had an Epstein list or is lying now when the memo says it doesn't exist, but can't be both. Now,
Can be both.
In the FBI, there's a wider dysfunction involving some of these same people who we know from what they're saying have been spending many, many days, a lot of their energy on a client list they now say doesn't exist. But the Times is reporting that the FBI is taking the unusual step of using lie detectors for loyalty tests, subjecting personnel to questions as specific.
Come on. Who's gonna believe the FBI's Who's gonna believe the FBI's results for these lie detectors? No one. No one in their sane mind is gonna believe the FBI's results for these lie detector tests.
Specific as to whether they've criticized or, quote, cast aspersions on Patel, who you just saw in that other clip talking about gangsters. This looks like something from a movie or another era, but according to the Times, it's happening. And in Trump's DOJ under Bondi, there's also a purge because there are officials who say they might be targeted not for how they're doing their job, but whether they're insufficiently, quote, politically loyal to Bondi and Trump. Fired without explanation, a culture of fear is how the Post describes it. And so one more point on all this tonight. What started as a very real question about a suspicious in-custody death, any journalist or lawyer could tell you.
Bro, like I know I've mentioned this a lot, but like, come on, man, come on. He did not kill himself in that cell. Someone definitely went in there and pulled the trigger or ended his life some other way. You know, rest in peace. Actually, what the fuck? No, yeah. Something definitely happened.
Government's holding a high-profile detainee, and they die under suspicious circumstances. You want to investigate that. What started with something real morphed into a MAGA conspiracy theory that was sold so hard by these leaders that it's blown up in their face. And more than almost anything Trump has done thus far in the second term, and you follow the news, you're familiar with it, this is the thing saddling Trump. This is the thing that has them leaking on each other, fighting with each other, talking about not coming back to work, all because...
Yo, and I'm wondering, man, how is Trump gonna like deal with this one? how is he gonna deal with this one? You know what I mean? Like, he can kick none of these people out. Like, they're all Americans. You know, what is he gonna do?
Because the story they sold themselves blew up on themselves. I want to bring in our experts, Michelle Goldberg from the New York Times and MSNBC analyst, and Alencia Johnson, who worked on the Harris 24 campaign and wrote Flip the Tables, Everyday Disruptor's Guide to Finding Courage and Making Change. Plenty in there for the times we're in now. Welcome to both of you. Michelle, multiple things can be true. We're all for investigating and holding the government accountable. If there were problems in the original handling of Epstein.
I don't think that's... I think, sure, many people say that they want to hold the government accountable, but let's be honest, a lot of the public forgets. Right, a lot of the public forgets, and that's something people in power know, right? So they will do everything to confuse you, and to like put your mind elsewhere, and then they'll do that just enough that at one point, all of this becomes a little too much, and you're like, I don't care, you know, and you just move on, go to the next thing. It's kind of like a hard pill to swallow, and then you just move on and just forget about it, you know? And people know this. People in power know this. This is a strategy they use, and we're all aware of this. They use this. They do this a lot. Same thing with the DD files. Like we're complaining about a lot of people like surprised that he's getting released now, but then in 2 years when he's released, people are gonna be like, oh, okay, whatever, you know? It's just... people forget and move on, and people in power know this, and they use this against you. They use this against us, man, basically, you know, and it's unfortunate.
It stretches from the Trump folks who were in charge of the Bureau of Prisons at the time. If there was further cover-up or lack of transparency, that would include, of course, the ensuing Democratic administration, and now back to the Trump folks again. So there may be good questions to ask, and yet so many of the questions that have blown up in their face seem to be of their own making. In Bondi's case, saying things that she would know to be untrue.
Vi fejrer fødselsdag, og du får gaver. Vi fylder 12 år, men synes det er fedest, når det er dig.
Yes, certainly. I mean, I should say I don't really have very many priors about this. I'm inclined to believe that if there was evidence that Epstein was murdered, or if there was evidence of a so-called client list, given that we've had first Trump in charge, then Biden, now Trump again, there would be somebody who had the incentive to.
She looks, the lady over here, she looks so disappointed in her answer. She was like, I'm gonna shut up.
To leak it or to put that out there. That said, there are, as you said earlier, there are a lot of weird things about this case, including now the changed metadata on the tape that they put out. But I think the key is two things. One, that Pam Bondi has made these statements that can't be reconciled. Either she was lying outright and kind of getting the MAGA people's hopes up when she said, I have this list on my desk, or she's lying now when she says no such lists exist and there's nothing there. And I think that part of it is that there's a difference between someone like Pam Bondi, who could have been a Republican official in a lot of different administrations, and someone like Dan Bongino, who is purely a creature of the MAGA world, would never be in the FBI under any other president, and then sort of has no political or entertainment future if he is seen by the MAGA base as a traitor. Pam Bondi is more of a sort of Bill Barr figure, and so they might all despise her. But if they feel really betrayed by Dan Bongino, who I think probably was a true believer that he was going to come in there and they were going to have this cathartic exposure of all their enemies, if he's now seen as being part of a cover-up, I think that's much more of a threat to him personally.
Yeah, I appreciate that breakdown.
You know what? That makes
a lot of sense. Valencia, I want to play the MAGA meltdown over this. For folks who aren't constantly watching The War Room or Tucker, you maybe only have heard some of it. But again, I don't think it's an overstatement that they're more upset about this than most anything that's happened in these first 170 days. Take a look.
And on video. And so it will be interesting to see how, moving forward, the administration actually starts to bring in some of these MAGA loyalists who, quite frankly, are these conspiracy theorists that they would campaign with, right, in 2024. They brought them into the administration, and now they are infighting, and it's leaking out publicly. Is that continuing to erode the trust that the MAGA base has with the Trump administration? And I think it will. It will. Now, I actually don't have a lot of empathy for a lot of MAGA supporters because we've been here before in his first administration, right? He'll make one promise and then go the complete opposite direction. He continues to spew conspiracy theories, or people in his cabinet do, but yet that's actually not enough for people to pump the brakes. And the people who can pump the brakes are actually the people.
Let me jump in. But on the politics, you ran with Harris, 1.5 race, right? Had it started earlier or different things happened, 1.5 in politics, that's not a Reagan landslide, right? Things can shift. Bannon says, whatever you think of him on the politics, that if they continue to mess this up, they're going to lose 10% of their base, which in a general election, quick math, would be a 5-point swing, which is pretty striking about how big they think the issue is. Take a look.
For this, 10% of their base is a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. And that says a lot about how big this problem is. And like, I know I'm just repeating what he's saying, but like, it's that just puts more pressure into the situation, man. That just shows that even these people think that this is a big deal. It just shows that these people think that this is serious. It's either they have to cover this up now and fast, or they have to like let this shit go, man. They have to like release the information,
To go away, you're going to lose 10% of the MAGA movement. If we lose 10% of the MAGA movement right now, we're going to lose 40 seats in 26. We're going to lose the president.
Yeah, man, this is insane. This situation, this Epstein situation, these files being so secretive is incredible, man. It's incredibly disturbing, if you ask me, man. It's just it makes me sick. It tears my guts out, like the other guy said. It's just wow. I just can't believe people can be like this, man. It's wow.